Can he have this one?
Yeah, that's fine.
Our first stop is the Estrella Warbirds. Wait. Our first stop is the Estrella Warbird Museum.
Warbirds.
And there it says Warbird.
Oh.
Our first stop is the Estrella Warbirds Museum. Now we are at the Estrella Warbirds Museum. Our last stop is the Estrella Warbirds Museum. Our next stop is the Estrella Warbirds Museum. Okay?
In addition to the Air Museum here, we also have a car museum. So we can go through that too. And we also have a lot of military vehicles from World War II and earlier.
For special circumstances. Okay. Yeah. But no, the basic requirement is you actually get a back.
So these are displays for one, for example, or we have some exhibits for flight clothing from World War II. And you'll be able to see all sorts of different airplanes. These biplanes right here, the World War I airplanes.
Oh, it's Paso.
So we have one of these right here at the airport. And this airplane flew to France for the 75th anniversary of the Normandy invasion. And they actually dropped paratroopers in June when they were over there. They actually dropped. This is your history. This artifacts from America before you were born. As you grow up, they made.
Yeah, I met this.
It's a Northrop P-61. It was called the Black Widow because it was a nighttime bomber. And this is part of the instrument panel out of that airplane. You can see all the dials and gauges and things like that. So it had two motors, and this row of instruments right here are almost duplicates of each other. One set of instruments for one motor and the other set of instruments for the other motor. These instruments right here are important to the pilot when he flies at night because it helps him keep the airplane right side up or from crashing into the ground.
Look at that jacket. It's got
And if
two
we go
flags.
around this way,
Captain James Nolan.
Wait.
His last name is Nolan. Your first name.
It's the Nazi symbol.
Oh, the Nazis?
the Focke-Wulf. Two most popular airplanes in Germany during World War II, the Focke-Wulf, and then the Messerschmitt was the other one, the Me-109.
I didn't see, everybody said, we're in, and
This is the Wright Flyer. Oh,
Oh, that one.
just double check. Yep, that's the Wright Flyer. That is the first airplane that made powered flight in the United States. What's that?
That's a replica.
I'm sorry?
That's a replica.
Yeah, that's a replica, yeah. The real one, I believe, is in the Smithsonian Institution, Air and Space Museum.
Is that a verb?
And that's a hiccup bird.
So this is World War II.
I know.
No touch.
This is a medical tent
Someone
where
is hurt in there.
soldiers who got hurt would receive medical care, first aid.
It smells good.
you know what these are? This is a machine gun. And then this is a mortar. Mortar is like a small cannon. That's a big machine gun. This is a 30 caliber machine gun. That's a 50 caliber.
What's a caliber?
What's what?
You said it's a 30 caliber.
Yeah, this one right
What
here
is
is a 30 caliber machine gun. It shoots a smaller bullet. But this one over here, look at the hole in the end of this barrel. Look how big around that is. That's a big bullet right
Does
there.
it still work?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So don't touch it.
So
How big is the bullet usually for small handguns?
On the smaller one, it's about as big around as your finger. Part of aviation. And aviation is tied very close. Faster than the speed of sound.
Oh, okay.
More than 700 and
What's the Gulf War?
before was
pretty much just a regular uniform and a coat. Well, here they wear all sorts of extra stuff. This is part of a G suit. So when they're making real sharp turns and they pull G's, which are multiples of their weight. So if 2 G's is twice your weight, 3 G's is 3 times your weight. So what happens is this inflates and it keeps the blood from pooling down in the body. It keeps it up here, and it keeps, more importantly, keeps blood up here in the head so that the pilot. Just take a look. The Navy pilots learn to fly in. This is a flight simulator.
Come on in, John. Let me go out and
So this is the simulator for an FA-18 Hornet, which is America's one of their fastest, most versatile fighter attack airplanes. And they have a training center over at Lemoore Naval Air Station. Lemoore is kind of halfway between here and Fresno, a little more than halfway.
We are gonna
Here we go. Say, where's that runway?
We are on 19 and that's at KSFO, San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
I really shouldn't be doing this. Normally don't take off this way because see there's a hill in front of me.
Yeah. And you're going the wrong way.
And, an F-18 you can get away with.
Yeah, you can.
You tried that in the
There we go.
747,
So this
probably
is what the
wouldn't get away
pilot
with
would see when he's flying his jet. Okay, the little green bars there, they give him information, altitude, attitude, airspeed.
into the ocean.
Is that a proximity warning?
The what? No, that's the Bay Bridge. The Golden Gate's over here.
I'll fly up to the Golden Gate.
He's gonna fly under the Golden Gate for you. Then they'll take away its license because it's not supposed to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's where the Giants play. You know what that island is out there? Alcatraz.
Alcatraz, yeah.
Do any of you know how to fly a real airplane?
That's the Golden Gate.
What's that?
Do any of you know how to fly a real airplane?
Yeah, we're both pilots.
Oh wow.
That's the Golden Gate.
He's more of a
Bridge.
pilot than I am, though.
I pilot here, pilot there.
It's gonna go under.
So
100
we're,
feet above the water.
what's our airspeed right now?
560.
Okay, here it is.
Do a victory roll,
And
Ed.
is that the Mach number right there?
Come on.
Whoa, we're almost upside down.
We're sideways.
We're definitely sideways.
I don't think I can fly it. I'll get motion noise.
And also him,
This
once he
is
gets in
just,
the car.
I went up with him first time.
Is that the golden
I'm up there, I'm
thing?
taking pictures, you know, he goes, you might want to put your phone away. Next thing I know, my stomach was 6 miles back.
This is Treasure Island. The Pan Am Clippers used to come in here, land right there. Coast Guard has a big facility.
It's the Transamerica building right there, isn't it?
Yep. Graphics in this, these things are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's trains on the track and cars on the highway.
You just don't want to run into them.
Did you?
How did you go under the bridge then?
We're in the real
You know the thing sits about 300 feet, 400 feet high, so
What if we
set your
crash
altitude at
into a
200.
building? What if we crash into a
They
building?
take away your license if you die. Or when you die, you
It's
don't
a
have your
real
license.
airplane. Yes?
See, he's going 550, and this number here is 6.4, 6.3. That's 0.6 Mach, which is the speed of sound. So he's going
So it's about
0.6
half
is
the speed of sound
yeah.
right now.
I think I'm gonna
They had a Navy
Yeah,
pilot
upside
who was in
down.
Cal Poly or
Almost upside.
from San Luis Obispo, so he's supposed to be down training
Yeah, we're upside down.
He comes up here, and the mistake he made, he came around and did it again. He's now, he's probably out of service now, but he immediately became the,
Seaman,
It's a little otter.
That's why they don't let me fly real airplanes.
Crash into the otter.
down by Rob, do a flyby.
That was
all right.
We're back out the front door here.
Hopefully no missing man formation.
No. So this is an old flight trainer. This is called a link trainer. And this was developed to teach pilots how to fly on instruments and to be able to sense attitudes of the airplane. Sometimes you get confused physiologically in an airplane and you think you're flying perfectly level and you're actually turning. Or you feel like you're turning and you're actually perfectly level. So they put pilots in this, closed them all up so they didn't have any outside references, and then would spin it around and bank it and make it go up and down and things like that. And it developed their skills to be able to fly better when they couldn't see.
That's cool.
The killing.
Well, this is the star.
The killing. Watch him.
It's a two-man fighter bomber, and it doesn't have any guns.
Purple Heart.
Significant contributions to the museum. It's all we often talk about aircraft. So, like these two helicopters right here are Korean era helicopters. They're Sikorskys. They're just, this is the earlier version, that's the newer version. Bigger engine, carries more people. This is an Air Force trainer, but they did use it in the Vietnam War for observing the enemy on the ground and directing in aircraft. So this is painted up not as a trainer, but as a military version of it. They could launch. So this helicopter is a Vietnam era helicopter. This is a Huey, made by Huey. lead troops into their assignments during the war, or take them out, or do medevac, or bring in supplies, things like that. Okay. This was used also during the Korean War, but it had a short lifespan. It was one of the first jets, and soon after this one was developed and successfully used, they built a better one. So this one became obsolete. So what they did with this particular jet is they made a camera plane out of it. And that's what these big windows right here are. They had cameras in here. So this airplane could fly over an area and take pictures.
That's cool.
Is the F-104 Starfighter. And this airplane is literally a rocket. All it has the wings on it for just a little bit of guidance. The wings themselves don't generate that much lift, but the powerful engine just propels this thing through space like crazy. So it goes high and it goes really, really fast. It was supposed to be it was developed as an interceptor during the Cold War to intercept Russian bombers with nuclear bombs on them before they got to the coast of America. So those bombers weren't that fast, so they developed this so they could intercept them farther out.
By shooting missiles at them?
How big that is. That's huge. What did you guys come in to the museum? What kind of a car? The airplanes in the early days had water-cooled engines. I'm sorry, had air-cooled engines. So
are in the front like this.
the air flowing between these little fins would cool the motor and keep it from burning up. The motor in your Odyssey, on the other hand, is water-cooled. Water flows around the motor through a radiator. They have most of the airplanes.
Hello.
That they could land and take off of carriers, very much like this one. Actually, this one replaced that one. Here, when the engine is running, air gets sucked in that big hole right here, where that red cover is.
Okay.
And if you were to walk up here too close, you could get sucked in there, and then chopped up in the engine and spit out the back end. So that's why they have the warnings on there. But the actual aircraft that they flew on their missions was a single seat, just like this.
Has he been back to look at his airplane? See, they paint it red, like it looks like a mouse.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like a mouse piece. It's like the nose up there.
Not only did we use these, but we also sold these to countries around the world. We sold them to Iran, Israel, Egypt. I think we sold some to Japan. Airplane right here, the green one, and then this yellow one is a primary trainer, they called it, for the Air Force.
Hat earlier. Do you need some block?
So this airplane was originally built by Grumman Aircraft Company, probably back in the 50s, middle 50s. And when the Navy got through with it, Cal Fire bought it and modified it so they could drop retardant out of it. In 2000, and as he took off, they canceled him. They said, okay, we've got the fire under control, we don't need you anymore. This is a World War II airplane that was originally designed to do coastal patrols. To help chase troops on the After some other service, it was retired, and then a company bought it and made an air tanker. They flew it. They spent about 2 months flying it from here to France. So the airplane went from here to some Austin, Texas, I think it was, and then to Kansas City, and then it went to the East Coast, It actually flew over the Washington Monument and up the Hudson River. And then it has the two big round engines up front.
It doesn't affect how the airplane flies when the doors open?
It does, yeah, a little bit.
Can we go in?
So this is a cargo door right here. There's two doors that open up. And you can actually take a forklift and take a pallet of stuff up there and put it in there. And then they can move the pallet around on rollers. And they can just stack a bunch of pallets in.
It's hot here. And
Oh, 8,000 pounds of
That sounds about right, maybe more. Well, let me put it this way. That's rule set.
it's hotter.
Sometimes they carried more.
Wow.
It's steep.
Because there's a story,
Don't flip any switches or press any button. Okay, let's.
evacuate someplace in China.
It's hot here.
Oh, then tell the camera.
And supposedly they
It's hot here and it smells kind of weird.
Don't flip anything.
But it's kind of cool too. We're,
you're getting out of town. Probably not. So they
don't flip it.
It was high up.
That's why it's so hot in here. It's just stagnant hot air. The boys take off already?
one of them's down on the ground and one's here.
Okay.
Tell the kid
Hey,
to come back.
Lucky, come back in.
Tell the kid to come back.
Come on back.
Here, Lolly, you and Lucky sit here, please.
Give me 1 minute and we'll let you come
Here,
in.
both of you
Get
sit over
closer.
here. Oh, careful. Sit over there.
Are you going
Oh,
to sit?
yeah, sit down right there.
It's a bit. It's
Ella, this way. Camera is this way.
Yeah.
How many- how
Ready?
many
1, 2,
747
3.
fibers
Look here,
and
boo boo.
tubes do we have down here?
3.
Well, we've been in these before.
It's so hot out here.
So the pilot sits in the left seat up there, and the co-pilot sits in the right. And back here we have a navigator, and over here we have a radio operator. However, you can fly this airplane with just two people.
So one there, one here.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
And there's baby wipes here.
Yep, baby wipes there. Good
Oh,
eye.
and there too.
And there, yeah.
What's the baby wipes for?
Yeah, well, it rains in England.
I know.
So that those little round knobs up there, the two white ones are the power for the motors. Makes it go slower and faster. And this is my brother. Hey, bro. You're here? Are you in the gift shop?
You don't know, it was the first
Okay.
commercial
I
airplane
go first.
became a game changer.
What? Can I go?
The
I just want to see how.
Yeah, sure.
late 30s wasn't going to spend any money on cargo aircraft. They were putting all their money
Hey,
into the small can.
Alright, look here, boys. 1, 2, 3.
Had a standard engine because every airline
Let's see if I can a little bit more.
so it had a standard engine, standard
Alright, 1, 2, 3, cheese.
She can tow lighters. DC-3.
Okay. You want to go in?
It doesn't say do not.
Come in.
No, no, go. Hurry. Whatever you want to do it fast.
Just don't get camera. Don't let.
Oh, careful. Try. Look here, boo boo.
That's those things. I got stuck.
That probably only does 45.
What if we?
The one on the left is an F-16. That was a very, very successful design also, and we sold a lot of those around the world too. It's a T-33. I think it's made by North American, and this airplane is a Navy airplane that they used to bomb North Korea with. Step right up, gentlemen.
Yeah, because I'm a straight reservist. My son's a straight reservist. The Air Force. Did the same program.
The live version down there.
Oh, we're back in the original. Okay. All right. Well, we're just gonna let him sit in there.
Most stable one we got right now.
What software are you guys using?
Okay, so give your dad a thumbs up. Like
Thumbs up.
this. Here, put the helmet on. Give your dad a thumbs up.
He's going to disappear in that.
Just have it. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right. Oops, sorry.
Thumbs up all the time. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Don't cover your face. Yeah. Here. Alright.
And then the real Top Gun thing. Now I'll give your dad a thumbs
now
up.
one more thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. There you go. Here. Atta boy. Here you go. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, give your dad a thumbs up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Okay.
Now let's put the helmet on you. Careful now. Here, help me a little bit. There you go.
So you met George Merritt, yeah? You met George Merritt?
Right, look here. Thumbs
You
up.
introduce him to George, or would that change his mind?
Lucas, how many
Sounds like this. Look here. Hold on, 1, 2, 3.
Cool. Perfect. Like your brother did, you know?
Which war was it? John, which war was
Here you go. Here you go.
Thank you.
That's post-it.
Thank you.
Back. Barely got the
You'd have to ask Brad.
How many airports does the thing go to?
I told you I ran into one.
Yeah, it's called X-Plane. And there's the guy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so
Go.
There are a few things I learned today at the museum. First was that jets have these holes where they suck up air. So if you go too close, they'll suck you up, chop you up, and then spit you out on the back. Sounds funny, but not if you're the one that's chopped up. And then also, I finally know how speed is enforced by aircraft, because I just never got it before. But I never knew that they have these cameras that are able to look at your license plate from
like
over a mile high up in the air.
6,000 feet.
Okay, you want to say bye bye?
Bye bye.